Hi and welcome to this week's Get in the Habit podcast. Is that what it's called, Sue?
It is Get in the Habit podcast, Dave, yeah.
Okay, great, yeah. So
You're at the right
David
podcast.
And Sue Allsworth, and we have a very special guest today, Tashii. Hey!
Hi.
We have the delightful Tashii Louu Clark, she's a VA, a virtual assistant, but I am calling her my VGA, my virtual guardian angel after this week, bless her. So welcome, Tashii.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
Great to have you on. I know that we've been working together now for a few months now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. So, and I know, but you're new, Dave. You and Dave haven't actually really properly met. So, do you want to tell us just a little bit about what it is that you do, so that Dave can find out what it is that you do as well?
Yeah. So, I've got a virtual assistant business, virtual PA, and I set it up just over 4 years ago now, when I didn't want to be in the corporate world anymore. I still want to utilise my skills that I'd learned, but I had my first child, and obviously I wanted to stay at home with him and be able to still bring in an income and use all of the knowledge that I'd gained. So it's changed a lot over the years. I was just doing calls and emails and very basic virtual assistant stuff, and then gradually changed my niche to work with a lot of spiritual people, a lot of coaches, and I just find that it flows better that way, because I'm quite quirky in the way that I work, and it's quite appreciated by quirky people. So yeah, I've really niched down to who I work with now and have my ideal clients, and really enjoying it.
So are you calling quirky, eh?
Yeah.
Definitely you too. Definitely you.
Right. Yeah, let me ask you a question there, Tashii, around that, because lots of people start businesses and people say, oh, go for your niche, really kind of target on your audience that you really want. And maybe you started with everybody, with, I think lots of people do, oh, just everybody, just come on.
Just anything that comes, yeah.
Yeah. But have you found that by really targeting on your niche, that has really improved your business?
Oh, definitely, because I find that not only are you happier with the work that you take on, because you can sort of decide what sort of work you want to take on. So you're enjoying the work that you do, but also enjoying the clients that you work with, rather than having anybody contact you and say, can you do this? Well, I can, but do I want to? And I think that when you niche, it's really important for you, because you can choose what you want to work on, and then it makes life a bit more exciting. Like, I could do a spreadsheet for you, but it's really boring, and I could offer so much more with my time. So yeah, it's really, really important. And what you find is that you start attracting the people that you want to work with and the work that you actually want to be doing, because a lot of the time I tell my clients, like, focus on the part of your business that you enjoy, because otherwise it becomes a chore to run a business. If you can focus on, say you're a meditation teacher, if you can focus on just dealing with the meditation side and delegate the rest of the work to somebody else who enjoys that side of it, you become really connected as a team, and it really, really starts to flow, rather than trying to wear every single hat in the business. It's really important to delegate and just focus on the things that you enjoy. So yeah, I'm quite passionate about that part.
Well, it leads in nicely to today's theme. We were sort of wondering what to talk about, as in get in the habit with you. One, what's listening to you speak there, you've got into the habit of listening to your heart and knowing that it doesn't, just because you can doesn't mean to say you should. But also, you're there to help people. And I know that I have had to get into the habit. I'm a helper, not a helpee. And so it's getting into the habit of asking for help, which it's a lot for us. A lot of people want to do it all there on their own. Hi, my name's Sue, and I'm too independent. And we've got Dave in the club, so we've already started our own little club here, Dave, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm normally the one that's helping people, practical one. But to actually, this week has been such a turnaround, because I don't know if anyone knows, so I'm going to do a plug right now. And that is this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, the 6th and 7th of February, we are bringing the BU Mind, Body, Soul Summit live on Facebook for free. Now, it wasn't going to be this way. It was all set up to be run another way. I had to listen to my heart and what the universe was directing and guiding. And it was saying, actually, do you know what? With the time of year and with everything that's been going on, I think we want to tap into that Valentine's love and give this one free to people. So that's fine. Decision made. Then it was like, how do I've got, this is going to be different organization. It's going to be run differently. And I had to, ask for help. And I went straight. Luckily, I've got a really good team around me now, which is Dan, the webman that can, Daniel Everest, who does my website, and Tashii, who is literally everything else that I can't do. Or I wouldn't say that I can't do, it's what I don't want to do necessarily.
Yeah.
So, how have you, Dave, been with asking for help?
Yeah, it's funny because when we spoke about this, just before we started this morning, and I've been thinking about that ever since. And I'm very much a person who won't ask for help. I'll just find a way of doing it. And generally these days, my way of finding a way of doing it is going on YouTube, if I'm honest. And because there's always someone that's done something and they've put it on YouTube. And the only time I ever found something that's not on YouTube, I wanted to work out how to a Jaguar car, and I wanted to work out how to put seat covers on. And do you know, there was nobody who put how to take your seats out of a Jaguar. And I really wanted at the time was going to do a video how to take your seats out of the Jaguar, because I thought I couldn't find it. Wow. But the trouble is, at that time, I didn't really know all the technology and all that to do it. So I'll leave that, let someone else do it. There probably is one now. But yeah, I think this goes back to when I was a child, and we've spoke about habits before, about maybe they come from our childhood, or maybe, we get into those habits as we get older. But I know that when I was a young lad, my dad would never help me to do anything. I'd say, oh, Dad, come and help me do this, will you? Come and help me do that. And they go, no, get on with it yourself, get on with yourself. And he would make me do things myself. And I think that gave me a sense of independence, but also it gave me that thing of, I'm not going to bother asking anyone then. So it made me, excuse me, it made me not ask for help. And maybe that's carried on through my life, who knows?
I mean, it's everyone has to ask for help at some point. And I being coming from from a carer point of view, I have seen the most independent people. And this is one thing that I think has taught me to ask for help earlier and to not leave it until literally the last minute when it really is uncomfortable and you actually don't ask for help and it's to your detriment of your health. And I've seen that so many times through proudness, stubbornness, whatever it is, people not ask for help when they actually do really, they're at the point of really needing it physically, at least. And I always, there's a phrase, I don't know if I'm going to have to see if I can say it in the polite way or not. When people, we like being asked, do you like being asked for help, Dave?
I think I do
like
that.
being asked.
Yeah, I like to help others.
Right.
Yeah. My big thing in my life, if I think of all the things I've ever done in my life, it's all about helping people. Yeah. So helping is a core value of mine.
What I say is flip the coin over, because by not asking someone else for help, whether you need it or not, you are not allowing someone else to have a feel-good factor like you do when you help someone else. And when I that's my polite way of saying it. I do say it in a different I basically say, don't piss on someone else's feel good factor.
Right, got you.
Because it resonated with me, because I was always there wanting to give, wanting to help. How can I help you? How can I serve you? No, I'm okay. Stu, do you need anything? No, I'm fine. When actually I wasn't fine. And also, what is it that we feel that is either, do we, where does this, do we feel that it's weak to ask for help? What's your experience been with this, Tashii?
I feel like we can be resistant to it because we feel like we have to be strong. I know that for me, being a mum of young children, and there's a lot of mental health issues within my family and stuff, you feel like you have to be that strength for everyone. But the truth of the matter is that if you don't fill your own cup, you cannot give to anybody else. So that's what I love about the Habit Studio, is that yes, you might live a really chaotic life, but if you don't take a moment to acknowledge how you're really feeling, sometimes we just run ourselves into the ground without even realizing, and then we crash. I know for me personally, I've got fibromyalgia, and I know that if I keep giving and giving and giving, which is difficult as an empath to know when to stop, but you have to get in the habit of stopping, taking a moment to be mindful, really tuning into how you're actually feeling, not to everyone else, but to you. And then take action on that, because sometimes you just have to tap into that feminine energy and go, do you know what? I could do with an extra pair of hands. I could do with a little bit of help here. And it's okay to ask that, it's not a weakness. It is absolutely fine and normal for you to be able to acknowledge that. And that is the strength that there is, acknowledging that actually you do need a break, and you do just need to take a minute just to stop and be for a little while. And I think that right there is where you hit the nail on the head, because once you've got that,
You're so right. And I look back now to when I didn't ask for help, when I actually knew I was struggling and I did need help for either mental health issues or work issues or whatever, relationships, whatever it was. But I thought I was being strong by giving off the appearance that I can cope and I can do it on my own, when actually my strength came when I literally shouted out and said I need help for what. And I've got one specific thing that's just popped into my mind, that it's where my business name comes from, Authentic Smile. If I had continued faking my smile and going about my day and pretending that everything was okay, probably wouldn't be here now to live to tell the tale. But because I reached out and said, I've had enough, I need help. I need help from my parents. I need help from a doctor. I need help. It changed my life. And I realize now that actually, asking for help on whatever level, and sometimes I do ask for help when I don't necessarily need it, but I know that there's another person that needs to be asked for help to make them feel useful or what have you in this world, especially in the world that we're in. Does any of that make sense, Dave?
It doesn't. Excuse.
Are you with us, Dave? I think it's just you and me at the moment, Tashii. I think Dave might have temporarily left the building.
That coin.
There he is.
Oh yeah. I am actually with us. Seems to be our internet seems to be stumbling at the moment with our recording. Sue, you're frozen. Tashii, you're frozen, and I've frozen on the screen as well. So there we go.
Well, we can, as my live went last Sunday. It doesn't matter if the computer freezes, as long as we can still be heard, then we carry on. So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, Dave, how does all that sit with you with asking for help on that?
I think YouTube viewers at the moment are going to think, what's going on, because they're all just stuck. But there you are. Never mind.
Let it go, Dave. Let it go and carry on.
There you go. All right, it's getting in the habit now. Right. I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier there, Sue, when you said you should flip the coin and ask some other people for help. you know, and I think sometimes you're taking that away, the opportunity for them to help you, because I like to help people. And if I'm being stubborn or whatever you want to call it, by not asking for help, then I think it's important actually to sometimes just ask for help. But I'm just thinking of some times now, just recently. And Tashii, I think you hit the nail on the head as well earlier on when you said you can't do everything in business. Focus on what you do and focus on what you enjoy. And just recently, I've actually got a colleague of mine, a very good friend of mine, to do a lot of my, well, do all the Facebook postings, Instagram posting, all that kind of stuff. Because I'm no good at it anyway. I just never do it. And she does, and she's great. So she's been doing all that for me. And actually, it's took a big weight off my shoulders by her doing that. And I can just do what makes me happy, you know? So, yeah, I think, you know, your job, Tashii, and helping people is a really good thing. And what you said earlier about people in business, sometimes we do everything. We wear all the hats in the business. We don't need to. Get someone else to do that. Do what you enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I
I
think
mean,
from a business perspective, a lot of people feel like they have to do it all themselves because otherwise they'll be paying someone else and they won't get enough money in. But by delegating to someone else, it gives you the opportunity to bring more business in. Otherwise, you're stuck at this level trying to do all of these different tasks rather than just focusing on what you want to do and bringing in more of that, you know? So,
you
yeah, that's
came
really
into
important.
my life when I had lost my joy. I realised last September, I love doing the summits, and I ran 3 last year. And this one, obviously, this weekend's the first one for 2021. But I was in marketing. I was in a world once I'd set them up, in a world that I hadn't studied, trained to be in, not my plan. And I lost my joy, and I realised what was my joy. And that's where the studio came in, because I love running groups and workshops and different things as much as the summits. And it was, okay, right, well, this is where I need to go. I now need someone to help out with the outside bits. I mean, with Dan, the webman, I bet my question to him quite often is this something that I need to give a peep about? And he'll either go, yes, Sue, or no. And he knows me. If it's not information I need to retain, he'll just go, no, don't worry, that you don't need to worry about that. And so, yeah. And with yourself, Tashii, I know that, you know, you've been an absolute angel with the summits and everything else in the background. And this week could not have happened, the turnaround of doing it onto Facebook. So that, I mean, for me, that was a really straight away. And it just shows you how you can get in the habit, because it was a really quick turnaround for me. I realized at the beginning of this week that something needed to be done differently, which, you know, it's not easy to get into the habit to accept change and accept that how you wanted to do something isn't necessarily the way for this time. But I asked for quick help very, very quickly. But I also, because I knew it would be there.
Yeah, always.
So for anyone that is watching or listening, I think we have lost Dave. So
No.
Dave has left the building. He obviously was like, oh, I can't be coping with asking for help. That's it, I'm out of here. I know he had some internet problems. So Tashii, just to do a little bit of a plug, what is it that you're looking forward to this weekend?
I am very much excited for the BU Mind, Body, Soul Summit this weekend. It is jam-packed with lots and lots of speakers bringing their love and light, and I'm very excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's different, certainly different doing it on Facebook to how we run it as a kind of not private, but a paid event in the past, and they will be in the future. But this one, yeah, it just felt the right time. We wanted to share the love from the people from the studio and the summit to everyone, because we know tough times, and we all need some help to, as you say, fill that well up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So Tashii, thank you so much for coming on today
You're
and
very welcome.
joining me and Dave. I would like, normally I was saying, and so today, thank you, Dave, from Hypnotherapy Dave, for from Life and Soul Radio as well, who has temporarily left the building. I'm sure I'll get him back later. He's my partner in crime. He can't go very far. Well, I should say he's my podding crime, shouldn't I, really? Because he's my podcast.
Yeah.
And me, Sue Allsworth from Authentic Smile. All the details about the BU Mind Body Soul Summit can be found on mindbodysoulsummits.com or the Facebook page Mind Body Soul Summits. And yeah, hope to see some of you over the weekend. If you're catching this up and you're listening to this later on next week, then you haven't missed out, because if you go over onto the Facebook page, scroll down, all of the information and all of the summit and the talks will still be there for you to catch up on. So you fill your boots and take your time. And yeah, Tashii, once again, thank you, sweetheart.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Take care, everyone. Bye. Stay safe. Stay well.